And hello everybody, welcome back to the video. So today I did something a little bit interesting. I decided to go through and look through the top 1,000 most viewed videos on YouTube. I found a playlist that gathered them all together and I scrolled through them and looked at all of the different videos. And let me just say, I am actually really kind of disappointed by what I found. So everybody knows that, alright, if you look at the top 30 videos on YouTube, they're all, for the most part, dumb music videos that actually not that many people really like that much. Like, Justin Bieber songs and stuff like that everybody's just kind of like, we don't even really like them. We don't even know what they're doing up there, but whatever. But after going through the top 1,000, like, first and foremost, music has completely taken over YouTube, like, just to an absurd degree. Like, out of the top 1,000, probably like 950 of them were all music, just all of them, which is just crazy that YouTube's hit that point at a platform where it's like, yeah, it really is a corporate owned platform. And I'll get to the other, little bits that weren't music that actually backs that up as well. Surprisingly, T-Series was pretty much nowhere to be found. I think scrolling through, I noticed 2 videos by T-Series, despite the fact they have, 200 million subscribers. And, like, it's not like there's PewDiePie videos populating top 1,000 or anything. But at least in, like, his case, he admits that, yeah, his subscribers were inflated because of the whole PewDiePie versus T-Series things. The fact that T-Series is just nowhere to be found, to be frank, is just kind of weird, in my opinion, that they only have a couple videos up there. But compared to some other artists and stuff that have many less videos there, or sorry, not many less, more videos there, but yet many less subscribers, which, oh well, it's whatever. But yeah, just so much music, so much just corporate big name artists, blah blah blah. It's sad, but everybody kind of already knew it, right? Like, it's not anything that's surprising to anyone. It's sad to me just because, music's never been, like, YouTube's biggest thing for me. So seeing that, stuff that I care about, like, the Minecraft community and stuff like that, and the gaming community in general, actually, is just absolutely nowhere to be found. Gaming on YouTube is one of the biggest things that has completely built this platform from the foundation up, and it's just nowhere to be found, which is really sad. And I kind of get that some of it's like, yeah, alright, there's a lot of content creators in gaming, so it makes sense. But on the other hand, there's a lot of just the fact that they've started building their algorithms in a way which makes it much harder for gaming stuff to get recommended to people that aren't specifically looking for it. Like, if you open a new YouTube account for the first time, there's like none anyway. But then I guess the next thing that was very common, which also shouldn't come as much of a surprise to anybody, is very children related videos. Like, one of the first videos I found that wasn't music, which was like all the way down to like number 150 or something, was some really weird, I think it was Russian. It's one of those Slavic languages based off the alphabet, but I don't know for sure the difference between the different languages there, so I can't say which one it was. But it was one of those types of languages, and it was like a Spider-Man comes to life real thing. It was some like 2-minute skit. Some kid grabs a wand, points at a TV, Spider-Man pops out, and it's just a really dumb skit. And then there's like a Hindi, like another just really dumb skit that's clearly meant for younger audiences. And that was a lot of what was populating anything that was there that wasn't music. Was that sort of targeted towards kids, Kinder Egg openings, dumb skits, stuff like that was very much so what populated the top videos that weren't music. Which, once again, is sad, because a lot of that's, like, really... Like, a lot of them are, like, corporate stuff, like CoComelon and stuff like that. CoComelon's included in the music stuff, though. But a lot of the programming that they have for the younger children are, once again, really, corporate entities that are controlling YouTube and stuff like that. And then it gets even more interesting. As I was scrolling through, I found a Grammarly ad. A Grammarly ad is in the top 1,000 most viewed videos on YouTube. And it wasn't like, a bunch of people click on this ad that didn't get that. No, it's just that they've advertised this one video so insanely heavily that there's just a random ad in the top 1,000 videos on YouTube. Which also says something, in my opinion, about just how much advertising YouTube sticks on their videos, to the fact that that is possible for an ad to be one of the top viewed videos on the platform is crazy to me. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with that, like, ads are so plentiful that a big company can get a video up there just by advertising it like crazy. And don't get me wrong, they probably made so much money off of legit just that single video, but it's still kind of, I don't know, it's kind of sad to me. What else did I see? That was really most of it. Is a lot of it's those kid type videos. As I said, though, like over 900 of them were probably just music videos, but everything that's there besides just one or two random videos are from corporate entities. And like the ones that weren't, there was like one that was of a kid swimming down under a pool to pick up a toy. Like, that's all it was. And it was probably there just because it appeals to parents that like to watch videos of children. Probably mostly mothers watching videos like that, if I had to guess. And it's the sort of thing which works over language barriers. Which, that's another interesting I noticed, is like a majority of the music there was English music. Like, there wasn't a lot of like Hindi music or anything like that. It was almost all English music. But then once you got into the videos that weren't music, a lot of them aren't English videos, which was really intriguing to me as well. And I don't know what that says about anything, but I just found it really interesting that for the music videos, very English dominated. For the other videos, there was a lot of other, sort of stuff, which I don't know the demographics for who speaks what language on the platform of YouTube for stuff like that. I know that, on my channel, India is by far one of my largest nations that I get views from. I think they're the second most after the USA. So it's, it would make sense to me that a lot of Hindi videos would be there. But then I get confused by all of like the Russian videos and stuff like that, or at least some Slavic language. I presume based off the fact that it was on top, probably Russian, because I'm pretty sure that's the most spoken Slavic language. But it just seems weird that Russian of all languages would have a large enough demographic on the platform for Russian spoken videos to be one of the more common to see in the top 1,000 that isn't music. Just seems a bit weird for me, but I don't know. there's a lot that goes into it, and this was just what I noticed after scrolling through them. I probably missed some videos that would have been interesting to talk about because it's 1,000 videos, and a majority of them is just music I'm scrolling through. Like, I was scrolling fairly quickly, and it still took like 20 minutes to scroll through it all. So, like, yeah, it was an interesting experience. I feel like I learned a lot about the platform because I very much so am on the gaming side of the platform, so I don't see a lot of things from other realms of the platform. And it really just reminded me how, despite the fact that a lot of us spend our time in communities based around single producing creators and stuff like that, that despite that, YouTube is still a very corporate entity with very large groups of companies that control the platform. And like, it's really easy when you spend all your time watching videos from people that aren't corporate entities to forget that, yeah, they really do own YouTube. And it becomes increasingly obvious as you see stuff like Coco Melon growing as fast as they are and stuff like that. And like the only channel really anymore that has a like single face company would be Mr. Beast, but he is such a large team behind him that, you know, even Mr. Beast is really a, you know, kind of corporate channel in a way. Like, much less so than a lot of the others, just based off the fact that it is a single guy that's the face of the channel, but still very much so, you know, has a large team behind it and stuff like that, which to some degree it's kind of discouraging to content creators that don't have any form of team behind them, that are just kind of a single content creator doing their thing, to see that, yeah, regardless of, you know, how hard all of you work, the platform's still going to be completely dominated by big companies, and there's nothing you can do about it, which is really rather a shame, especially when you think about how, you know, when the algorithms did support smaller creators, how you did see stuff like people like PewDiePie becoming the most popular YouTubers and stuff like that. And it's not like all of the corporate stuff wasn't there already. They just didn't have as much control over the platform. And now that they've managed to get full control over the platform, it's hit a point where there'll never be a return to the single content creators on YouTube, just because there isn't room for it with all the large companies that are willing to dish out large amounts of money to become the largest channels on YouTube, because, you know, they make their money back. I don't know if they always make it all back from YouTube, but overall as a company, they make their money back off of the extra exposure and stuff like that they get out of it. So it's too advantageous for them to ever give up. And from YouTube's standpoint, you know, they get to make a lot extra money. They have advertisers that are also participants on the platform, letting them to make money, having big companies advertising lots of money to, in some cases, other big companies. And I don't know, it just really feels to me like it's kind of hit a point where, for the small content creator, YouTube's kind of dying, which is a really sad case. And like, it's the sort of thing where this has been talked about before, but YouTube does need, as a company, to have a fire lit under them if they're going to fix stuff that people want fixed. Like, the problem is, if everybody, you know, just continues to use the platform, then at the end of the day, nothing's going to change, and well, actually, not nothing's going to change. It'll continue to get worse until eventually it does hit a point where everybody has no option but to move off just because it's gotten so bad. And I have a feeling it will hit that point at some point. Just because, as I was saying earlier with like how I was mentioning how like the gaming communities, like the backbone, or was for a period of time like the backbone of what built up YouTube. Not so much anymore. There's a lot more to it now than there used to be. But there was kind of that period during the middle of YouTube when, the short videos like Charlie Bit My Finger didn't have as much popularity, and the algorithm favored, sort of Let's Play videos and stuff like that when people watched a lot of them. And, there's a lot to it. But YouTube just doesn't want to move in that direction, and in large part that's because they are doing so much to support the large companies versus the individuals, which from a primarily monetary standpoint, I understand where they're coming from. It just seems like, as I was mentioning, eventually it'll hit a point where users have no choice but to look for somewhere else to go if it continues to get worse and worse, just because it'll hit a point where the creators are the small content creators are going to be pushed out of the platform and have no choice but to go somewhere else. But then it gets difficult too, because it's like, Twitch isn't exactly all that friendly to small content creators either. Like, they're much friendlier, but they show a strong bias towards their larger streamers and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's interesting. I hope that, stuff changes for the better. I just worry that YouTube won't have an incentive to make things change for the better. But anyway, guys, that was just my thoughts after looking through the top 1,000 videos on YouTube. Whoa, this lobby it's not pleasant. But let me know what you guys think. Like, maybe you guys will come away with a different conclusion after, this stuff. Like, maybe go through and, scroll through some of it yourself and see if you get the same impression I did or a different impression or whatnot. I'd be interested to hear from some people on that. But yeah, guys, I hope you all enjoyed watching. Bit of a different styled video, but I do enjoy doing these more commentary style videos from time to time. And as I said, let me know what you guys think. I'm really interested to hear. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. God bless. Bye bye.